说中文。
Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hello, newbies. My name is Ken Carroll.
Hello, I'm Jenny.
Now, we have a challenging newbie lesson today.
We do, but
Yes.
we shall make it very easy for you.
We'll make it easy for you. Now, there's quite some challenging items in it, but we're not going into great detail of explanations and so on. We're just going to give you the patterns. And also, there's a ton of cultural stuff that we can look at in this lesson.
对。
Very briefly, Jenny, before we're going to listen 3 times and then we'll come back and we'll gradually put it all together. Have no fear, you'll get the idea. Briefly though, Jenny, what is the context here? What are we talking about?
It's between a passenger and a taxi driver. So the passenger probably has just arrived in the city.
Okay.
He has an address
Yes.
in his hand and
Yes.
showing it to the taxi driver.
Okay. And then he has some basic questions to ask the taxi driver.
对。
Okay, that's it. You're in a taxi, you're in a new city in China. You want to know about your destination a little bit. Let's sit back, let's listen to it. Lots of patterns will come back in just a few minutes and we'll help you put it all together.
Dialogue, first time. 师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？
很快，
要多久？
半个小时。
哦，很快。Second time. 师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？
很快，
要多久？
半个小时。
哦，很快。Third time. 师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？
很快，
要多久？
半个小时。
哦，很快。哦，半个小时 half an hour. I don't think that was, 很
Well,
快。
that's a really, really interesting point right there. And I think we can take a look at that in some detail actually in a moment. Why don't we do the translation at this stage?
As we need to. 师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？
Sir, how long does it take to get from here to there?
师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？
Sir, how long does it take to get from here to there?
师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？很快，
Oh, it's very quick.
很快，
Oh, it'll be really fast.
很快。要多久？
How long?
要多久？
How long?
要多久？半个小时，
Half an hour.
半个小时，
Half an hour.
半个小时。哦，很快。
Oh, that's really fast.
哦，很快。
Oh, that's fast.
哦，很快。
Yes, very typical.
Yes.
Really, really high frequency language and very rich lexical patterns.
对。
While we're at it.
Shall we take it from the top?
Let's do it now. The first word is interesting how you address the taxi driver, and that is
师傅，师傅。
师傅.
Yep.
Now, it just means,
Sir.
yeah, basically just, it's the equivalent of, calling someone sir,
Yeah.
basically. All right.
We use this term to address craftsmen.
Yes, or skilled individuals.
Yes.
Okay.
As a way to show them respect.
Yes,
But
yes.
if you are practicing kung fu, I think you also have a 师傅,
That's right.
the
That's right.
master that teaches you.
That's right. So, one more time, you're addressing the taxi driver, you call him
师傅,
师傅.
师傅.
Now, there's a very interesting pattern here. The question, of course, is how long does it take to get from here to there? Let's hear that, please.
从这儿到那儿 要多久？
Now, we'll break this into two parts. The first part is from here to there.
从这儿到那儿。
Now, that is word for word. That works as a translation, right?
Yes.
From here to there. Let's hear it again.
从这儿到那儿。从这儿到那儿。
Good. So try to get that pattern and we won't sort of go into too much analysis of it, but one more time, from here to there.
从这儿到那儿。
Now, you could be talking about a taxi ride, you could be talking about a walk in the park, it could be
Yes.
100 places, but it's always
从这儿到那儿。
good from here to there. And then the question is, how long will it take?
要多久？要多久？
Now, we can look at these three words separately. So the first part is yao,
对，
fourth tone, and that means to
need
need, to require, or to
Yep.
want also.
Yes.
And the second part is
多久？多久
多久, meaning how long,
？Yep,
basically, in terms of time here.
exactly.
So the phrase, how long will it take?
要多久？
Literally, it means need how long.
Yes.
Right. So now you have the whole pattern again, and it works pretty close here, almost like word for word. So it's like sir or driver. How long does it take to get from here to there? So one more time, let's hear that, please, Jenny.
师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？
Great. Now we have the 师傅. What does he say? He says,
很快，很快
literally meaning
，very fast。
very fast, very quickly. It's a super expression, of course. It can be used in a million ways. So one more time, please, Jenny.
很快，很快。
很快.
Yes.
Very quickly. Now, so the passenger asked the question again to be a little more specific. How long?
要多久？要多久？
Now, this is the same phrase that occurred in the first sentence, right?
Yes.
It's the same, requires how long. Let's hear it again, please.
要多久？
要多久? Now, you could if somebody was coming over to your house and they said, I'll be over in a while, you could say,
要多久？
how long will it be? Or the repairman or something is doing some work, you want to know how long, you say,
要多久？
or a report in the office, your boss might say to you.
要多久
So again, super phrase here, how long will be required?
？Yes.
Now, this is interesting because the response comes.
半个小时，半个小时。
Now, two parts here. The second part is the word for hour. Let's look at that.
小时，小时。
小时,
对
meaning hour.
，Yes.
And the first part of the sentence is
半个，半个。
半个, meaning
Half.
half. Okay. So banga works across the boards in most cases anyway to express half of something.
Yes.
Right? So one more time. So half an hour.
半个小时，半个小时。
半个小时. So that's half an hour.
Yep.
Now, the passenger's quite pleased with that.
哦，很快。哦，很快，
So the word for fast is,
快，快。
and that's a fourth tone, 快.
Yep.
And very fast is
很快。
很快.
对
So she's pleased with that result. It doesn't seem too far away.
Yes.
Good. All right, Lena, let's listen to that 3 more times because the patterns are very rich. So get the sounds, get the patterns, and we'll come back in a moment and we'll explain a little bit more about the cultural backdrop here.
Welcome back to another installment of Chinese Pod Trivia. And the question for you is, for what test does Chinese Pod offer preparation services for? Is it A, the polygraph, B, the colonoscopy, C, the HSK test, or D, the CAT scan?
The CAT scan?
Ooh, sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer is C, the HSK test. That's right, Chinese Pod will thoroughly prepare you to pass this rigorous test of proficiency in Chinese. ChinesePod.com/HSK.
Dialogue first time. 师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？
很快，
要多久？
半个小时，
哦，很快。Second time. 师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？
很快，
要多久？
半个小时。
哦，很快。Third time. 师傅，从这儿到那儿要多久？
很快，
要多久？
半个小时。
哦，很快。Well, Ken, it's interesting. My first reaction to the dialogue was 半个小时 is a long time.
半个小时, half an hour is a long time. You know, this is a really interesting example of context, I believe. There's two types of context at work, I think, right?
Oh.
The first type of context here is cultural context, right? Now, you know, the person says, how long will it take? In China, people tend to give you the good news, you know?
Sometimes not necessarily the truth.
Well, let's say they'll stretch it a little bit, but the idea is harmony, and they don't want you to feel bad.
Yeah, because you're in the situation and there's nothing you can do to
That's
change
right.
it.
If it's going to take a half an hour to get there, well, we may as well look at it in a sort of a
Positive
optimistic way. So people will say, oh, yeah, no problem. It won't be long at all.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is, however, that you know that, first of all, that's relative. And second of all, they're trying to be nice about it. They don't want you to say, you know, they're not going to turn around and say, oh, it's going to be really long. You know, that just wouldn't happen in China.
Yeah.
So people will always put a slightly positive spin on things.
However, if you don't know that cultural aspect, it can be a frustrating experience.
It can, because you say to the guy, you know, how long, 多久? And he'll say, not long.
对，他会说很快。
How quiet? You say, not long. Oh, great. So how long? And he says, half an hour. And you're like, what? You said it wasn't long. So, you know, you have to understand that there's, you know, there's this feeling of harmony. But secondly, there is another element of context. Is if you had arrived, I don't know, in LA airport, and you were told you only had to drive a half an hour to your...
Oh, that would be fast in LA.
That would be fast, right? So again, the context thing is really, really interesting. But I would say that Chinese people will tend to, you know...
Stretch the truth.
or just put it in its positive light a little bit, rather than... They certainly won't say, oh, dude, sorry, pal, you know, you're in for a really long ride. It's just not the Chinese way.
对。
But fascinating, and I've seen people get upset about this type of thing, Jenny, but this is the point. People are actually, for the most part, trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
So, you know, if somebody tells you very quiet, and then half an hour later you ask and he says, well, we're just halfway there. You know, don't take it too seriously.
对。
It's the way people present it.
Yes.
Wow, we could go on about that all day.
Very helpful.
Hope so.
And we can continue that discussion and other types of discussion on ChinesePod.com. We will see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
再见.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number
1120.
So just go to www.chinesepod.com/1120 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/1120.